Hub is an absolute essential for any Formula One fan, and the entire app with new widgets, statistics, localized race schedules, and countdowns, you name it. They even have support for Apple's new live activities feature with real-time updates during a race right on the lock screen, and honestly, some of the best looking widgets I've seen.
Welcome along, everybody. We are back for gold action tonight then, and unfortunately you're stuck with me because Sean is fixing his toilet or something, so he is preoccupied, to say the least. We are ready to get going then for gold season 15 round 6 here in Canada. Of course, the Emilia-Romagna or Imola standings are in front of me, in front of you as well then, as we've got Julian leading the way then with 112 points, although Julian is not going to be racing tonight then, or in the next two races. I think he's on holiday for 3 weeks, going off to South Africa, I believe, so hopefully he has a good time then. But unfortunately it leaves the door open for his championship rivals to try and get themselves into the mix here as well then, with Brabbit then in P2 with 75 points, and Baz then in P3 with 57 points. And Baz, oh dear, I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. Anyway, right, yeah, sorry, Baz. People are messaging me stuff, and I can't deal with it at the moment, so I'm busy doing commentating. Right then, Baz in P3, there we go, we'll get there eventually then. 57 points then for the debutant then in ALR Gold, then looking to try and cement his position in the top 3 of the Drivers' Championship. Then we have got Emerson Hilton, who's on a resurgence after his last season, and he is currently P4 in the Racing Bulls. Then we've got Srivatsa then in P5 for McLaren, and looking forward to seeing how he fares tonight then in Canada, because of course he did have a very good race then in Canada last season, apart from the last lap. Then we go. Then we've got Sweet Crown in P6 with Equaz P7. Then we have got Markey in P8 then with Kaz P9. Kaz looking pretty quick tonight then, we'll see what he can do then. Peas in P10 with Tori in P11, Mad Max in P12. Of course, had a fantastic podium in Saudi Arabia then 2 weeks ago. Then Gamer in P13, Legend in P14. Then we've got Sweet MJP in P15, I believe that is. I think that is. Potstuff P16, KD in P17, Duke in P18, me in P19, Huffy in P20, but looking to get off the mark then. And of course, R2 Beat in P21 and Kieran, sorry, in P22. That's the classification so far. Right, let's see. Constructors, right? Everyone's messaging me and I can't read. Racing Bulls, 160 points there for Emerson and Julian, looking to try and cement their position at the top of the tree. Then they've almost got double the points though of Ferrari in P2, and Brabham is going to have to do all the hard work then tonight on his own then, because he has got no not really much help to be fair in the constructors, but he's got no full-time driver alongside him. Lewis then is stepping in then for Ferrari. So there we go then. We've got Williams then in P3 with 80 points there. Only 1 point behind Ferrari then in P2 then. So it's quite close between the top three, I should say. Goodness me. Then we've got McLaren with 57 points in P4. Then we've got Mercedes with 50 points in P5. Haas then with 48 then in P6. With 46 then for Aston Martin in P7. Cadillac then with 37 points in P8, then with Alpine with 34 in P9, Red Bull in P10 with 25 points, and Audi with 21 then in P11. As we're about to get started there, good stuff indeed. ALR then says Equazent and High from Mad Max as well then. And I can get this gubbins off the screen, and we can get ourselves ready to race then. Ready to qualify first, of course. So let's see how it goes then as well. Looking forward to this one then. Right. We've got ready up again then. Yes, wonderful stuff right there. Pit limiter. Good stuff indeed. Right, what's going on? Let me get this started. Right then, we have finally got some... I think we've got some stuff going, have we? Has the audio worked? I'm not sure if the audio has worked. Fingers crossed. No, that's stream intro, isn't it? I need this audio, don't I? Good stuff indeed. Right, I've muted the stream intro. No, thankfully it didn't play again when I unpaused it. No rain. Right, Kaz doesn't want rain. It does look a bit overcast here. It looks a bit Christmassy in that top gantry as well. Yeah, never mind. Right then, we've got ourselves ready to go then. It looks like a bit of an overcast start to qualifying. We'll have a look and see what the situation is going to be then as it develops as well then. And of course, as the race develops then, 35 laps of racing action to unfold in front of our very eyes tonight. Looking forward to seeing it undevelop. I'm not sure what the word is there, but never mind. We'll get started. Qualifying is underway. 15, not 15. We've got 17 minutes to go then before the checkered flag falls then in qualifying and the grid order is decided. Just trying to make sure I can hear the game audio. That's good stuff. Very good stuff indeed then. Action out on track then. We've got a Haas, we've got Racing Bulls, we've got a Ferrari already coming out there, and action on track then it's Ayrton then in the Haas then, who is of course joined the Silver Grid full time now. So looking forward to seeing how it goes. A bit of a practice run here tonight then for Ayrton then, and I think he's in the Williams car, isn't he, for Silver, so we'll see him in action in blue tomorrow night, but we'll wait and see how it all fares then here in Canada then. In gold there we've got Emerson out on track, as is Lewis Riley as well then, so let's see the action unfold then. Qualifying is well underway, and we can get cracking then for this round as well then. Good stuff. We'll wait to see then how it all unfolds, as Ayrton then is going to take us around the track then. Brabham also coming out on track as well, and we will see everybody in action in just a moment's time then. Srivatsa is going to be very much hopeful for a repeat then of last season's race then up until the final lap then. Evening Alex has Ginger Rage. I've lost it. Ginger Rage got heat stroke then. No, he's fixing his toilet. So never mind. He's got more important things to worry about. No, I think he's had some scheduled builders in, so or some plumbers or whatever it is. Ayrton's going to start us off on the first flying lap then. So yeah, unfortunately, Sean's not going to be with us this week, I don't think. as the Haas then of Equaz then having a bit of a skate off at the first turn. Second turn really, isn't it? As we've got Ayrton then going through the first chicane, keeping it nice and valid through there, which is very difficult to say the least. And now into sector 2 we go then, a 19.9 then for Ayrton, then looking pretty good then as he goes through now into sector 2, then burning the battery then, which is very much a scarcity around here. But nonetheless, as we now head into sector 3, or almost sector 3 I should say, because Ayrton then going very nicely then through the first 2 sectors. He's got one more to go though as we go into the hairpin here, and let's see how he tackles the last part of the lap then, which is the fastest part of the lap if you are not mistaken. Then if you have seen Canada Grand Prix before, then you'll know this is the fastest part of the lap, as you have you have witnessed it with your own open eyes. Ayrton then into the final chicane then, the Wall of Champions then beckoning for the Haas there, but not quite. Then Ayrton makes sure he doesn't go into that wall then, and it's going to be a 10.7 to start us underway then here in qualifying. Good stuff indeed. Who is next then? It's going to be Emerson then in the racing balls, then the Ayrton and Emerson combo then. It's a 10.4 for Emerson, puts himself P1 ahead of his brother for the time being, that is. Lewis Riley's done a 13.2. I don't know if that's representative of his best pace there. Kamara Racers, evening Alex then. Hello all racers and good luck. Gold then from Kamara, and €10 donation then. What a hero then Kamara Racer is. I have to say it. He is absolutely legendary indeed then. Kaz has done a 9.8. That's pretty legendary as well then, with the first driver into the 9s here as well then, by almost, what's that, 5.5 tenths of a second there to his closest challenger as it stands. Goodness me, that's pretty good stuff indeed. Equaz is on track then going through sector 2. Where is the rest of the field I want to go to? Oh no, I should have gone to Baz then. I went to the wrong Williams then, but Mad Max might have something to say about it as well then. Baz is up to P2 with a 10.2, and here comes the Williams of Mad Max. It's going to be P2 ahead of his teammate there, and puts himself then onto the front row of the grid with a 10.1. Very good stuff indeed. Williams looking strong here. R2B with 11.0 puts himself on the third row of the grid. Lewis Riley, I think, has gone for 2 attempts here then, so let's see what the second attempt is looking like then from the Ferrari driver as he crosses the line. It's going to be a 10.0, puts himself P2 then onto the front row of the grid. Very good stuff indeed. Immortal going through the hairpin, then here comes Srivatsa in the McLaren. Let's see what he can do then in that papaya orange as we go through the final chicane, and again keeping it out of the wall. Then I'm expecting someone to go into that wall, and usually it's me. Srivatsa then goes P5 with a 10.3. Very good stuff indeed. Immortal then. Immortal is he Immortal then? He is coming to the line, and it's going to be a 9.3, and puts himself comfortably into pole position then by almost half a second there. Fantastic from Immortal. We've got pit stop action then. Drivers coming back in. Then R2B coming back to the pit lane as well. Then Marky's gone up to P3 with a 9.9 in the Cadillac. Very good stuff indeed. Srivatsa then is in P7 now. Then R2B is, I think, starting off another attempt then. Equaz is having an issue though. Oh, what's happened to Equaz? He's coming back round, I think. No, we'll come back to him. As Sweet starts off a lap as well then. Tori as well back on track then. Hope everyone's seen my warning about the pit limiter then. It's off in gold. I believe it's off in silver as well then. But yes, yeah, I think pit limiter on automatic then is, yes, it's not available for most drivers out there then. R2, no, it's Vesio with a 21.5. Then I'm not sure that's his best pace either. Then I think setting his sights then similar to Lewis then doing 2 runs then at the get-go. Then R2B is on his second attempt as we go through then in towards sector 3. He is almost half a second up on his previous time then, so that's going to put him up into potentially P8 territory as well then as we finish the lap. Then let's see what R2B can do in the Cadillac then, coming to the line then down this back straight then, which turns into the final corners. Final corner, well, it's really really 2 corners, isn't it? But it's a chicane. Get it right there as we go through the final 2 corners then, and here comes R2B to the line. What's it going to be then from R2B? It's going to be a 10.6, puts himself P9, then he finds just over 4 tenths of a second there. Very good stuff indeed. Versio unfortunately has invalidated his time. Equaz back out on track as well then. Kieran going through into the hairpin as well. Then Immortal needs testing, says Serious Mushroom. Then he's not on PlayStation anymore, so he can't check his hard drive on his PC anymore. As Tory, coming through the final corner. I think that was a clout. Was there a clout there, or was he just gone a bit wide? Then up to the line, it's going to be a 10.2 and puts himself. No, it was invalid then. Invalid, I think, at that final chicane. And unfortunately, Victoria 10.2 would have put him into the realms then of the third row of the grid then. That would have been pretty good indeed. Kieran's done 11.0, puts himself P12. For now, then his teammate then unfortunately not got that time on the board then. Equaz has done a 10.4, puts himself P9 as we go through then. The hash then is looking good indeed. Kieran, is he going again then? I don't think he's abandoned that lap time then, so he's going to have to come back to the pit lane and think about that one again then, as Tory also coming back to the pits. His teammate then has not had a good outing then through that final chicane then, and that has been costly indeed. Equaz trying to get himself back to the pits. There's Emerson and a McLaren right behind him. Then they've both come out of the pit lane, but here comes Baz. And Baz is going through the first few corners as well then for Williams. And can he find some more time on that 10.2 then? Only a couple of tenths or so will put him into the range, or if he gets himself into the nines that is, he will put himself into the range then of competing for the front row of the grid. Then here comes Baz. He's found 2.5 tenths in the first sector alone then, so my goodness me, this could be pretty good indeed if he can keep it all together. And that's the problem with Canada, he's trying to keep it all together then. Penn City, this one, says Mushroom then. Yes indeed, through the sector 2 chicane then, and he's managed to keep it valid through there. Then let's see what the Delta is saying though to the previous time, and he is 6 tenths up then. 6 tenths up then on that time would put him, where would it put him roughly? Oh, it would put him P2, wouldn't it then, with a 9.6 I think. Can he get a distant toe then as well? No, he can't then from that racing ball, I was going to say then, but he has made his way then into the final couple of corners, and let's see what it's going to be from Baz. He's invalidated going through the final chicane. What would it have been? He's still going to the line. It's going to be a 9.8 then, and that would have put him P3 then if he can keep it through that final chicane. That is very costly indeed. Well, it's a very, very difficult place to go through indeed, isn't it then? So as I know so well. But there we go then. Right, who is on track then? We have got, oh dearie me, Tom Huffy clouting the wall then at the exit of turn 5, and that's going to be costly indeed, but it doesn't look like it's damaged the front wing on visual level, that is, but potentially there might be some damage there then for the Audi driver. Then we'll wait and see then. Brabbit is on track then, but he's having a bit of an issue with track limits as well then, it seems. Then track limits is going to be the name of the game then tonight. Then I think then, as we were saying, or as Serious Mushroom was saying, here improves to a 10.8 then P12 for now then as well. Then Vessia coming through. Tom Huffy is ghosting then, but he is all right now. And oh dearie me, is that going to be a bit of a toe there for the racing ball right behind him potentially? As I don't know if Tom Huffy is he on a lap? He is on a lap. Then is Tom Huffy as he goes through that final chicane, and that racing ball is very close indeed, and might be getting a toe there as well. Then Tom Huffy with 10.5. Emerson with a 9.9 puts himself P4. Goodness me, fantastic. He must be getting dizzy up there. Lewis Riley, though, is he going to be able to improve and try and take back that second row? There is Brabbit crossing the line to start off a lap, that is. Lewis Riley improves then by just over a tenth, then to put himself back up into P3 here. Very good stuff indeed. Sweet MJP is P9, then I've missed it, but he's done a 10.2. Very good stuff indeed. As who is next to cross the line? Equaz coming out of the pit lane, and Vessia then has done a 10.5 and put himself then into P11 ahead of his teammate by a few thousandths of a second there, and there is Tom Huffy scampering off the road. Kieran then is P15 for now. Then Brabbit is on track. Then Tory's back on track as well. Then as is Pease. Pease has not set a time on the board though, and unfortunately I think he's invalidated through that final chicane just like Tory did as well. Then unfortunate there as well. Then Equaz to win. No pens then, says Mushroom. Then Equaz does love a bit of Canada, doesn't he? And we've seen some fantastic Canadian Grand Prix from Equaz, haven't we? Where is that McLaren, I hear you ask? That McLaren is Srivatsa starting off a lap then. Emerson back into the pit lane. Then we have got the Ferraris. I think then that is a Ferrari of Brabant. Then what is Brabant going to be doing then here? Up to the line for Brabant. It's going to be a 10.2. Puts himself P8 in the Ferrari. Then row 4 for the time being. Good stuff indeed. Tori's back through then. No, he's not. He's invalidated his time again then as Tori. Is it going to be valid this time when he starts his lap then? Yes, it is. So he can hopefully get himself a time on the board after this one. Then Pease is back in the pit lane after that unfortunate invalidation as well. Then Markey's back out on track to try and get himself into the fight for the front row here. Who is next then? Oh, there's that damage to that Williams car. Then I think there might be some left end plate damage then to... Yes, there is. There's damage to Mad Max, unfortunately, then, so he's going to have to abandon the attempt on this one and try and make his way back to the pit lane. He's got 5 minutes left of qualifying to go then, so it is not all over just yet then for Mad Max, who's currently P7. And looking good indeed then. Equaz then, I think, is cruising. Is there rain on the horizon potentially then? It seems to have got a bit more gloomy overhead then as we go through. Then we've had Srivatsa. I've missed it, but Srivatsa's up to row 2. And he's got himself into P4 with a 9.8 here. Very good stuff from Srivatsa. Looking strong as well then here in Canada as we go through. Then I think that's, yes, I think they're coming back to the pit lane for Vessia and Equaz, I believe, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Equaz is on a lap then, and I might have got that wrong. Let's go and have a look and see what the Haas driver is doing then as we go into the final chicane then. Is he going to come into the pits? No, he's going to stay out, and he's going to go through that final chicane now, and very nicely indeed then as we cross the line, it's going to be a 10.1, puts himself P8, then he finds 3/10 on his previous time as well then. Very good from Haas, very good from Haas, very good from Equaz in the Haas. Kieran has left the session. Oh dear, not more of this then. So there we go. R2 Beat then is back out on track as well then. I think he is going for it then in the Cadillac. He is currently P14, then he's not found the time then in the first 2 sectors, although he says he's gone purple then in the second sector, that is. As we go through then onto the back straight then, let's see what R2 Beat can do as we head... Kieran has joined. As we head now into the final chicane, and is RTB going to finish the lap, or is he going to come back to the pit lane? He's coming back into the pit lane, and that means he's got time to go again then for one more run. Huffy, has invalidated his time somewhere. So now have to think about coming back around and going back again then. Kaz is also on track, but I think is similarly doing 2 out laps here then for the Aston Martin driver then. Can he try and claim that pole position away from AC Immortal then? He's got to find just over a 10th then, hasn't he? Might be a bit close there, but we'll wait and see then as we get to the final few minutes of qualifying. Then 3 minutes left then here in Canada to set the grid. And we'll be ready to go then in the race as well. Then 35 laps of action then to unfold in front of our very eyes. Looking forward to it. Hopefully, I'm looking forward to it, that is. Right then, Kieran is back in. Ayrton has retired. He's in the pit lane as Ayrton. Equaz has laughed, and I think that's in reaction to Serious Mushroom's comment about Equaz to win. But you never know. Then in Canada, then it can be one of those ones, can't it? Then as we go through, then Lewis has not started a lap. Then he's pulled over then and let Kaz go through. Kaz, is he on a lap as well? Then the Delta is saying he is potentially. Then he's 75 thousandths of a second down though on his previous time. Then potentially trying to save the battery for later on in the lap here. Let's see what he can do as Emerson then is not out on track. Never mind, I thought I saw a blue dot go through there. No, it was Kieran, I think, just starting off a out lap then as well. So we'll come back to all of that then. And we've got the Aston Martin of Kaz, who has found 16 thousandths of a second in the second split time. That's not enough then, as it stands. Then Mad Max has had a problem, has he? Marky's got a 5-place grid penalty with Mad Max. Then what's happened there? Marky is... Where is Marky? Mad Max is retired, and I'm not sure what's going on here. Marky has got a 5-place grid penalty for something that I didn't see. Not sure what is going on there, and again it's just chaos. And as Kaz has gone off the track then at turn 1 and 2, and I think that is well, that's Marky's qualifying done, isn't it then? as well then. So I'm not sure what's happened there between Mad Max and Baz has got himself up into P5. Not sure what's happened there at all then. Lewis is going slowly as well then. I think that might be qualifying done for Lewis as well. Kaz, has he got time to go round again? Then there's yellow flags out there then for Marquis' car. Rear end gets lively in experience around here, then watch for something to happen. Sorry, something to watch for. Yes, it indeed. Well, I found that, even just doing a practice lap. Marquis then is going very, very slowly here, and there's also a very, very slow Audi right behind him as well then. Not sure the Audi realises that that Marquis is probably going to be abandoning the qualifying lap here then as well then, with the damage that unfortunately he's got to that car, unless he wants to try and go for it here as well. We never know as we go through here then, but yeah, I think Marquis is going to come back to the pit lane. Kaz is also coming back in the pit lane, so that's unfortunately two of the top three are done and dusted then in qualifying. Kaz has retired from the session then. Baz, has he got, I can't see what the delta is saying because there's so many yellow flags out there then, as we go through now then into oh dearie, Brabbit, sorry, is going all over the place. Who's next then? I think they've all started a lap in time actually, haven't they? Which is good. Kieran going through the Casio triangle. What am I doing? The Wall of Champion. Oh my dearie me. Kieran improves then to a 10.6, then puts himself P15. Tory then does not get a time on the board here in qualifying, unfortunately for Tory then. Sweet MJP improves to P7. Good stuff from Sweet MJP. R2 beat up into P12 ahead of Vessia then, who unfortunately does not get a final time on the board. Tom Huffy then going through into the final part of the lap then. I can't see, where is that Mercedes? I hear you ask. That's a Mercedes of a Sweet Crown, but unfortunately no time for Sweet Crown either then. So unfortunately for Tory and Sweet Crown, no time on the board then. Pease doesn't get a time on the board. There's big damage there to the front of that Alpine. Goodness me. Right then, Baz then is going through into the final part of the lap then. Unfortunately has invalidated his time, if I get that right. And Lewis then out of the final chicane. Can he find some time on a 9.8 then? No, he can't. He crashes it into the wall, which is great. Tom Uppy is P9 with a 10.1 then, and there we are. Qualifying is done. Don't forget to like and subscribe, you lovely people. Then pace on nil, then says Equaz. Right, we'll have a look at the qualifying classification there as well then. Not sure what was going on there with Marquis and Mad Max, but nonetheless, we can look at that after the race, I'm guessing. Immortal, sorry, is on pole position then by just over a tenth then to Kaz. Marquis then is, sorry, so Vats is going to be P3, Baz is going to be P4, Lewis, I think, is going to be P5, Sweet will be P6, I think Marquis might be P7. No, Emerson might be P7 and Marquis might be P8 then. Tom Huffy in P9, Equaz in P10, and I've missed the rest of them, sorry about that. So there we go. Oh, dearie me, it's going well. Right. Time for strategies, time for fuel loads, time for cups of tea before we get ourselves racing. And it's brightened up a bit here in the start of the race, it looks like. We'll wait and see then when we get ourselves underway there. But there is some grey clouds looming overhead then, so we're worried about that then, I'm sure. Potentially we might see a dry start then with wet race then soon to come then during the Grand Prix, which would be very spicy indeed. Well, it would be very wet indeed, wouldn't it, towards the end, but we'll wait and see then how it all unfolds as yeah, interesting stuff. We'll find out then as the race progresses then. Those dark clouds then do seem to be hanging around then. They were hanging around in qualifying, and well, I think drivers are going to be very happy it's going to be a dry, or at least dry to start the race. Then we'll wait and see then if it's going to be dry throughout the whole thing there. Good luck gold then from Sirius Mushroom, and we will be getting ourselves racing then in a few moments time, hopefully. We'll see how the action unfolds with 35 laps then around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve as well then. So looking forward to it. I made sure not to call it Jacques Villeneuve, which I think I've done plenty of times before, to be fair. But there we are. As yeah, just waiting for the drivers to get themselves all comfortable with the setups then, with the fuel loads, with the strategies, and we'll be ready to go then in just a jiffy. No formation lap, and we'll be heading straight into turn 1 very shortly, because here come the lights. 5 red lights are on then here in Canada. The 5 red lights are off and away we go. And it's a good start. Where have I gone then? I've gone the wrong way. What's happening here? Nope, they're all glitching. It's a good start. No, it's not a good start then. Srivatsa's gone down then. There's Marky's made a good move then back up into P4. He's gone down as well then, down to P8 then. My goodness me, where is everybody? There's all sorts of anarchy there going off the circuit then, ghosting all over the place and whatnot then as we head through into, oh my dearie me, head through into wherever this is then. I think it's Sector 2. Oh God, and Sweet Crown's gained 7 places. Well done to Sweet Crown. That's a good start. Oh, what is happening? I don't know if Marky's actually in the car. Is he? Maybe he's not. Has he had an issue? The same thing I had then at the beginning of the Imola Grand Prix. That he seems to be pretty racy though, and I just can't tell. But Sweet Crown has lost out to Marky now, I think, and fingers crossed that's all sorted itself out now. Kaz has taken the lead from Immortal then, and well, there we go then. As Kaz has taken the lead from Immortal then, Immortal's now to P2, then Baz is up into P3, Kaz then sets the fastest lap, then Sweet MJP has gained 2 places and is now up into P4 here. Ayrton's in the pit lane. He's got a 10-second penalty then, Ayrton, for speeding into the pits, and I'm not sure if Ayrton was caught up in some shenanigans. There's a couple of people that have had some chopping and changing out there. Then Emerson's the only one, I think, to have held station then at the start of this Grand Prix. But there we go then. And yeah, I think it was chaos, let's just say the least then. So there we are. Everyone, I think, was started. The timing tower was wrong at the start as well, which didn't help. So the timing tower was showing everybody moving all over the place at the beginning there. But I think it was just timing tower shenanigans, I believe, but who knows. We'll wait and see as we get the evidence after the race, that is. But nonetheless, let's crack on. We've got 35 laps to go then. Well, no, we've got 35 laps to do, I should say then. But 1 lap is at least done. Everybody's in the queue then. Everyone's in a big queue actually here as we head through then onto lap 3 momentarily. Then it's getting close then between Peas and Brabbit. No, it's not. It's getting close between R2 Beat and as Immortal sets the fastest lap, then he's back on the charge. R2 Beat, then he's charging after Peas, then he's in P15 in the final points paying position as it stands down the inside. That's an Audi going on Sweet Crown, then not quite, then I think very wise. Oh dearie me. And Brabbit's gone through, and I think Tom Huffy having a bit of a skittish moment, that is, over the curbs then at turn 2, then has opened the door then for Brabbit to sneak through then into P12 here and back up to where he started as well then, so that's good stuff indeed. Marky then has lost out 2 places then. Of course, he did start in P8 then with the 5-place grid penalty. Then we'll have to look at that after the race. Then Vessi has picked up the first penalty of the evening on track, that is. Then as Ayrton's got a 10-second speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately. Kieran and Tori are switching places then. The Red Bulls then doing a bit of teamwork down there. That nope, Kieran's left the session. Oh dearie me. So hopefully he can get himself back in time then as well then, because he is not having a good time then with the connectivity out there then. Kaz then, has he dropped to Mortal out of that 1 second window? Not quite then. And Baz then is holding station right behind them with Sweet MJP filtering through then into the final chicane then. Srivatsa then P5, Lewis in P6. Tom Huffy's got a 3-second penalty. What's happened then? Tom Huffy's out of the race then. What's happened there then? It's the Wall of Champions then. It's a safety car or a VSC. It's a VSC, I think. Ayrton then is, well, maybe going to use this to, is it a safety car or a VSC? I don't even know where the safety car is, because it isn't up there. Doesn't look like it's out there, actually, does it? But Ayrton could use this to serve that 10-second penalty. Kieran could use this to get himself back in the car. At least we have intervals then, says Mushroom. Yes, we do. Go for it, says Fatnet. Is that spelled right? I can't read it from here. I hope I've got that pronounced right. Ayrton's carried on. Right, VSC is out then. If anybody gets to drive through under the VSC, then be careful. Right then, as we go through, and goodness me, then it's all action then in the first opening stages of qualifying. We've had qualifying already. Opening stages of the race, that is. But goodness me. Yes, very tense then. Peas has gained 7 places then. Sweet Crown then, after the good start, then has unfortunately dropped down slightly there as well. Then he's lost 3 places then off that excellent start then, which gained him 7 places. VSC is still out then if anybody's going to try and peel into the pit lane. None of the leaders are peeling in just yet then. They all want to carry on then on this tyre for now then. Unfortunately, the first retirement then, as we've got race resumed then as well then, and Peas, Sweet Crown and Brabbit then are very close indeed into turn 1 then. He's almost being pushed through the corner then, is Peas into turn 1. And Brabbit under big pressure here then from the Mercedes and the Alpine, heading through then into, oh dearie me, I thought we were going to try and go for a move there, then that would be incredibly dangerous, to say the least then as well then, as we go through now then into lap 5 then, still 30 laps to go then, and can they all keep it together through here then as we go through into sector 2 now. R2 beat then up into P14, Vessia into the points paying positions. Kieran I think is back in the car, and that's good news indeed then, because hopefully he can stay in the car this time then and get himself into the mix as well. Then there's still points on offer, as P15 then is the lowest points paying position. Then Kaz has motored off, and Immortal then has been caught up now by Baz instead then, and Baz is now trying to challenge for P2 here. Goodness me, well, I can't keep up with all of this. It's quite thrilling. It's nice not to be in it, to be fair then. Usually I'm sat in that Ferrari seat at the back, but it's all good. At the back of the grid, that is, as Sweet MGP then has lost out to the 1 second gap and is now could be under pressure from Srivatsa, Lewis, Riley and Emerson. There's yellow flags. What's happened then? It's at the Casio. Oh, why do I keep calling it the Casio? It's the Wall of Champions. It's R2 beat there. What's happened to the Cadillac driver then? It was going so well then through into the Wall of Champions. There's been a bit of an accident then. I think he might have everything intact then as well. Then as Marky's had an issue. What's happened to Marky then as well? Then he was, I think he was battling then with Mad Max as well then. I'm not sure. But again, he seems to be all intact here as well then. I need to see what the tyre situation is doing as well then, because Marky started on the hard compound tyres. That might be why he had a bit of a struggle off the start then. He's back underway now. He's right behind Peas, and Sweet Crown has lost out to the battle between Peas and Brabbit then, and is now got Marky then in his sights, I should say. Vessia then up into P14. Kieran now in the points paying position ahead of his teammate then, so Tori's had an issue somewhere, I think. R2B is back underway then. Is there damage to that Cadillac though is the question. Then unfortunately for R2B then it is cost him his place in the points paying positions for now. I think he might be alright actually, as Sweet Crown picks up a penalty as well going through the final chicane. Lewis and Emerson are putting their friendships to the test. I don't know if they're friends, but they're close on track. So they go through here then, and Lewis has lost out to Srivatsa then. That 1 second gap then, 2 seconds now in front for Kaz. Could be on for a fantastic race then if it stays this way, but we're only we're only a fifth of the way through just yet then, so it's not all done and dusted just yet. Emerson then is trying to get the pressure on then for that P6 position. Equaz is being brought along as well then, as is Mad Max. Then Brabbit 2 seconds behind. He's had a bit more of a worry about what's behind him rather than what's in front of him. Then has Brabbit then, because he's got Peas, Marky, Sweet Crown's had an issue then. He's got that penalty then, and that's dropped him down to P13, and is now under pressure from Vessia as well then in the other Audi. Kieran then in P15 is holding station then in the points paying positions, and of course will gain 2 places with the penalties as it is, but of course there's still a few laps to go. Tori as well then would get himself into the points paying positions as it stands as well. Then R2B is motoring along then on those hard compound tyres as well then, so I would believe that he has got everything intact then on that front wing. Vessia has picked up a penalty then going through the chicane. Emerson still trying to push past as we've got Peas and Marky then there's coming together then as they go off the circuit. Peas has got a 10-second penalty for corner cutting then at turn 2. Then was there contact then as they go through, and oh my god, then it's going to be tight through there. Peas might be able to get that looked at then after the race as well. Then that 10 seconds could be appealed then, I think. Potentially if there was contact then that forced him off the circuit there as well, then we'll wait and see as we head through now then into lap 8 then. It's only been 8 laps then, but it's been 8 laps of absolute action then, and Kieran's now getting in the mix here as well then for the Red Bull drivers. Emerson's past Lewis, has he into the hairpin, then Vessia passes Sweet Crown. What's happened to Sweet Crown? What's happened to Pease as we go through into the hairpin. Oh my goodness me, contact there as well. Then Kieran needs to get himself back on and back motoring quickly. Then he's lost out to Pease. Ayrton's retired, then he's crashed, I think, as Ayrton. There's a safety car here. Sweet MJP was already in the pit lane. That's good timing. There we are. Pit stop action. Mad Max Rabbit is also in. Then there's all sorts of things going wrong here, I think. Tori's going to carry on. Is there rain? No, I don't know. That's not rain. Drive-through penalty for Mad Max for speeding. He's in the pits, though. I'm not sure what's going on here, to be honest. Casio, it's not Japan. Then Lewis proving he belongs in gold then as well. Then yes, indeed. Pit stops then for a lot of drivers. That's all I can tell you. Kieran is coming out of the pits now, and he's going to be P12. He's got himself ahead of Sweet Crown. Peter's had an issue there somewhere because he's dropped down to P16. What's happening here? Sweet MJP. Oh, he's P10. Right. I think there's been some telemetry issues, let's just say that then. Yes. Right, yeah, fantastic. Safety car is deployed then. Is there going to be pit stops for the leaders then? They were not picked up by the safety car, so they could still use this opportunity to pit then. The highest runner then who has pit is Sweet MJP then. He's on the hard compound tyres in P10. The top 9 have not pitted then in this race. So we'll wait and see as Kaz is coming into the pit lane. So he's going to call it a day then on the medium compound then for our race leader. Then also in is Immortal Baz Sravat. So then is Emerson going to have to double stack behind his teammate then. And Lewis Riley pushing them into the pit lane. Then that would have been costly indeed. Lewis has got a 10-second penalty for a collision there. Marky's going to carry on then and take the lead of this race. There, good stuff from Marky. I think he just wants to get this race over with, as do I. Sorry for my fault then. Sorry for that then, says Ayrton then. Yes, well, I'm not sure what happened. Oh yeah, Ayrton and safety car. I've already forgotten about that. Yes, that's the reason for the safety car. Right, 17 drivers remain then. Remember, 15 drivers get points then. So Sweet Crown's back in the pit. So he's gone for the hard compound tyres now. Zar2Beat will go through then into P15. Pease has gone through as well then into P16. Sweet Crown is back underway then. So yeah, there's only 2 drivers out of the points as it stands. But of course, technically, only 1 driver out of the points because fastest lap can be scored by anybody who finishes the race then. So potentially, as Kieran has left the session again then, goodness me. It's not going well, is it? Yeah, well, hopefully he can get himself back in again this time and under safety car conditions as well then. So safety car I think will be in next lap rather than this lap. So there's still time. So there we go then as we head through now then on lap 10 then. We've only had 10 laps. But my goodness me, it's been 10 laps of action here in Canada, hasn't it? Justice for Pease, says Mushroom then, indeed. Well, Pease is... Once they put back up to the safety car, then Pease is within points paying positions already then because he is going to be within the penalty ranges of Vessia. Lewis Riley's got a 10-second penalty, unfortunately, for Lewis Riley for that collision with Emerson into the pit lane. Mad Max has got a penalty as well then, I'm not sure. He's got a drive-through penalty as Mad Max then, hasn't he? Goodness me, who knows? He's done a pit stop there as Mad Max, but he's got a drive-through penalty speeding under the safety car. So yes, it's a bit odd. But anyway, what is a bit of oddness then in racing? Who cares? Oddness is great. It's not really, but there we are. So yeah, we'll be back racing very soon then. Hopefully Kieran can get himself back in the car then. I think, has he got himself back in the car this time? Not sure. But hopefully he can get himself back in then to take the restart. He hasn't got himself back in just yet then, unfortunately. Let me send a quick invitation to him. Let me search for Kieran. Kieran. Hopefully this is the right Kieran. He's in the session. He's in the session. Well, he should be because I can't invite him. So hopefully he is just about to take control of his car and just in time for the race restart. As safety car is coming in then, so Marky then will lead us away. Then Marky has not pitted then and he will be a bit of a thorn in the side, I think, then of Kaz and well, everyone behind him who have pitted, of course. Hopefully, has Kieran got himself back in the car just yet? Then I'm not sure. No, I don't think so, unfortunately for Kieran, as we are about to get racing. Then the safety car is back in the pits then, and Markey has dropped the hammer. He has gone then, has Markey then, as we head into the final chicane, and away we go then, and it's, oh dearie me, it's not a good getaway there for Markey then, as normal boost mode is enabled then, and Kaz on the fresh grip then is already through and up the inside at turn 1 then, taking the lead of the Grand Prix. Baz then and Immortal then pushing through as well then. Let's have a look at the position changes off that restart then as we go through now then. I think Kieran is back in, but it's just too late, unfortunately then for Kieran. He has regained control now though. Oh dearie me, that back end looking flighty to say the least then, as we've got Sweet Crown and Beat, I was going to say Peas, as heading through there then. There's yellow flags in Sector 2. What's happened in Sector 2 then, as we go through then? Everyone seems to be okay, I believe. Markey is under pressure already then from AC Immortal now. Then there's already a 2-second gap almost there to Kaz then, who was scampered off into the distance here, and late on the brakes there as well then was Immortal then, but as Baz is trying for it then around the outside, but not quite then. Markey is going to be doing the Minister of Defence through here then, or through this next part of the Canadian Grand Prix at least then, as we head through then into the final chicane. But he has held on to P2 for now then, but I think now with the blue boost soon to be enabled, as Mad Max is, he's in the pits to serve the drive-through then. Peters has got a 3-second penalty then, as Markey has been passed by Immortal into turn 1, and now Immortal has been released then as well, as we head through then into lap 13, sorry. Mad Max is serving that drive-through penalty, isn't he then, so he's now back out onto track. As we go through lap 13, still yellow flags being waved in Sector 2 for some reason. I'm not sure why, but who knows. And Markey now under pressure from Baz as the next target as well. Then Baz is going to try and get through here. Then he's going to go side by side. Is he? Goodness me. Then that's a very difficult spot. He's gone for it down the inside. He's made the move. Then he's up into P3. And he needed to do that as well then to chase after Immortal, that is, for P2 then. Srivatsa's shaping for a move as well then, but as we go into the hairpin, goodness me, that's close, and there's a bit of nudging nose to tail there as well when going through that hairpin, which to be fair there usually is as well in league racing. Thankfully not in real life racing. If you get it wrong in real life racing, usually it's bad news. As here comes Sweet MJP, he's trying to get past Srivatsa, he can't quite get past Srivatsa, but Srivatsa's now got a 3-second penalty. Kieran has been passed by Peas. Peas has clouted the wall. There's more contact there, and Peas has gone into the wall and he's spun the car around into different shapes and circles. Unfortunately for Peas, then he's got serious. Oh no, that's a VSC. Oh, is it a safety car? I think it's a VSC. Peas is rolling the wrong way there. Was Peas go the right way? Peas, you're going the wrong way. Peas, what are you doing? So Peas, I think, is he's given up on his points-paying position chances, and although there's only one position left then, so technically when Peas gets disqualified for rolling backwards too far, as Mad Max has got a 10-second penalty again then for a yellow flag infringement. Peas has got himself back the right way, but unfortunately he's not having a good time out there then, and I think he's got himself going back the right way then, but unfortunately he's lost a lot of time with that as well then, as he's trying to get himself back underway then, and I think there's severe damage to that Alpine car then. Where's he gone? There he is. That front wing has got, well, it's missing completely, isn't it, there? So hopefully he can get himself back into the pit lane to service that vehicle, because that's going to be needing some serious attention there as well then, is Peas' Alpine car. Immortal has put emoji there as well then. Alpine didn't need the points then, says as normal grip is resumed. Alpine didn't need the points then, says Mushroom, as we go through then into, as Sweet Crown's got a 3-second penalty as well then. I'm just hoping that Peas can get himself back to the pit lane safely then, because that Alpine is in dire need of attention, isn't it, there from the mechanics then as well. As we head down the back straight now then, Immortal's got a 2-second gap then. Peas is getting himself back into the pit lane, but I think he will be out on the lead lap still. I'm not sure if he's going to be. He's got a 10-second penalty. He's out of the races, Peas. So unfortunately, that's 3 retirements. in this race already then, as we haven't got to halfway point. Oh, dearie me. A race of attrition, is that the right term? I think that might be the right term then, because here we go then into the hairpin again then. Srivatsa then is trying to go round the outside, but it's not quite going to work there. And Markey then is trying his best then on the old hard compound tyres to hold off the attack then. But here comes the McLaren driver now then, down the back straight then. It's going to be tight through here then, but I think Srivatsa has snuck ahead already then into P4. And he's made the move then, has he, into P4 then. Good stuff indeed. Kaz has set the fastest lap in the race. But Srivatsa then P4 now then. Markey then Pease is out of the session, unfortunately. Then Pease, then we saw him rolling backwards then down the main straight then, unfortunately. Costly indeed. Sweet MJP is in P6, I should say. Then he's now chasing after P5 then, with Markey then holding him up then on those old hard compound tyres. But he's doing a good job though, is Markey still. Brabbitt's got a penalty then in P7, then Emerson in P8 then as well is looking to chase him down. He's in a Ferrari sandwich as it stands. Goodness me, Immortal's put another emoji there. Good stuff. I'm not sure how he's doing that whilst he's driving. But there we go then, heading into lap 16. Sector 2, they're all still pretty bunched up after that safety car, and the VSC didn't help alleviate that issue as well. Then here comes Sweet MJP down the inside into the hairpin. Then he's going to dive down the inside, is he? Yes, he is. He's got the move done, I should say. He's got the car slowed down, and Brabbitt's going to try and sneak through as well here then on the Cadillac of Markey. Then Baz has passed Immortal for P2. Then Baz is flying through then into the final chicane. Who's got what then? And Brabbitt's got P6 there ahead of Markey. Now then Emerson next to line up a move as well. Then Sweet Crown and Kieran have switched places. Then Kieran has lost out to the Mercedes driver for now. Then R2 Beat is in the final points paying position, and he is smelling something. That's points, I'm imagining. Mad Max, though, is still motoring and could get himself back in the mix. Then we'll wait and see what Mad Max can do. We've got some pace in that Williams car. Markey then in the vicinity as well then of Emerson next as well. Then we've got Brabbitt and Sweet. Oh, there's contact there with the rear right then with Sweet's rear front left. Versia's picked up another penalty, unfortunately, for Versia then. And here comes Emerson as well. Then on the attack, then Sweet MJP is going to be under pressure as well from Markey. Then heading into the chicane, not quite. They stay as they were through that corner, at least then, as we head now into sector 3. And Emerson, oh, he's going to go for it down the inside, and that's going to be tight indeed. Then Emerson has snuck through, has he? Yes, he has, I believe. Oh, no, he hasn't, because Markey's still with him side by side then, heading down the straight. Who is going to yield here then as well? It's going to be Markey has yielded then, as Emerson's gone through then into P7 now, and on the charge then as well. Then Markey doing a fantastic job on those old hard compound tyres. He's fighting tooth and nail. Then Kieran has got himself back up into P13 ahead of Sweet Crown now. Going through here then, my goodness me. Mad Max is closing in on that pack as well, though. We'll come back to that in just a jiffy. Then Sweet MJP has lost out to Brabbitt, who's now up into P5 and chasing after the McLaren of Srivatsa here. Emerson then and Sweet MJP have passed Markey then, and are now trying to get themselves back in the mix. Then Sweet MJP is back in the mix. As we head through the next part of the lap, then sector 2 is underway. Then Lewis Riley then trying to make his way past Markey. Equaz and Tori then are coming as well, then as is Vessia. Then there's a bit of a gap back to Kieran as well there, but we do expect Markey then will be thinking about a pit stop in the next 3 or 4 laps potentially, then maybe 5 laps. We'll wait and see. But there we go, the status quo as we go through the hairpin this time. Where are we then? Mad Max? No, not Mad Max. Well, Mad Max is closing in then on the top 15 actually. Brabbitt then is closing in on P4. Then that's Srivatsa then, who's under pressure. You can see that Ferrari getting closer as Emerson's getting closer to the Aston Martin of Sweet MJP, and Sweet MJP's gone off the circuit there. Then goodness me, then losing it out of the final chicane. Then he's back on. But as he got damage to that car, then into the pits comes Markey. Then he's calling it a day on the hard compound tyres very early on then as well. Then Sweet MJP he's resumed the race. Well, he had to resume the race, that is. But he has not got any damage, and I don't think then to the Aston Martin, just the damage to the tyres and a bit damage to the Pride as well there. But he's back underway. He's now got Kieran, Sweet Crown and R2 Beat for company. Then Marky is pit for medium compound tyres. Is that a bit early? Then we'll wait and see then as we go through. Then Marky then is back out then in P16. He's 8 seconds off the top 15 at the moment then as we go through lap 19, soon to be lap 20. And so far so good then as well then for the top 3 then. But Haz is enjoying himself out there. He is 3.5 seconds away from his nearest rival, that is, not 3.5 seconds away from the win, but he could be on for a win then as it stands, and we'll wait and see. The top 3 have not got any penalties as well, then that's going to be helpful towards their races, towards the end of the race I should say. Brabant cannot get past the McLaren and Srivatsa just yet then as we go through here. Then Lewis and Equaz then are chasing after Emerson, then Tory and Vesser in close proximity. Then Sweet MJP is into the pits. So is there damage to the Aston Martin then, or is it just a scheduled stop then? There's no wing change then, it's new hard compound tyres going on then to the end of the race then for the Aston Martin, I would believe, and potentially that would indicate that everyone is going to be thinking about a pit stop then in the near future as we head through lap 20 then, soon to be lap 21 then. Brabant closing in and getting closer and closer, but not close enough then. Riley then and Equaz then are putting the pressure on Emerson in the racing balls for that P6 position. Then Riley's got a penalty to his name. Equaz has now got a penalty to his name. I've jinxed him, I'm very sorry there. R2B as Tom Huffy has left the session. Unfortunately, Tom Huffy was our first retirement of the session very early on then, and I'm not sure what happened to Tom Huffy there as well. Then I can't remember now. That was too long ago. But hopefully we will. Hopefully he's all right. Mad Max is now up to P14. Then Marky's back in the points then on his medium compounds. Then Sweet MJP. Was there damage to the car that was not fixed there? We'll wait and see then, but hopefully he can get himself back underway then. He seems to be all right then with the new hard compound tyres. Then we'll come back to that then. R2 Beat's got a penalty. Goodness me, then he's got a penalty coming through the final chicane then, so that's his first penalty of the evening. And Mad Max is now caught up to the back of the Cadillac then into turn 1 then. Oh dearie me, Sweet Crown got a bit wide there, but he's still doing a good job then holding on to the points paying positions. Lewis Riley then is in the mix then for P6 here as well. Then Emerson then is holding him off for now. There's only 16 cars on track, so it's quite easy to keep track of what's going on now. As RGB trying to get past Sweet MJP then, Sweet Crown, and Mad Max as Vessia has passed Tory. Then Vessia has lost his front wing completely then, hasn't he? As he's got another penalty to his name then, unfortunately for the Audi driver. Well, I think that might be a glitch actually, because he seems to be motoring along all right, but unfortunately he's lost out to the gap then between Equaz, Lewis Riley and Emerson for that P6 fight then. Kieran up into P11 I should say. Then Sweet MJP's got a penalty as well then, unfortunately for Sweet MJP. There seems to be some sort of errors going on there then, because he's not gaining the time then on Marky then potentially. Unless he's gaining the time then on the rest of the field. As where are they? There they are then. What's going on there then? That's Sweet Crown abandoning the move then, going into the pit lane, and he's gone into the pit lane. I don't know if he was just sort of forced into the pit lane there. That looked a bit difficult then for Sweet MJP. Then he's gone to hard compound tyres and back underway. Sweet MJP. No, sorry, that's Sweet Crown. Sweet MJP is back up into P15 with Sweet Crown's pit stop there. Good stuff, I got it right in the end. Lap 22 then, oh my goodness me. Lap 22 then, soon to become lap 23. But Brabant then is not having any luck getting past Srivatsa then, and they're actually catching up then to Baz and Immortal here as well then. Srivatsa's only a few tenths away then. Tory has passed Vessia into the hairpin then and up into P9. Away he goes. R2B has lost out to Mad Max there as well then with that with all that fighting then, 3 of them into the final chicane there. That would have been very tight to say the least then. Sweet Crown back underway as well then on a new set of hard compound tyres to the end of this race then. We'll see how it all unfolds as we get to the final part of this race as well then, because we still expect then the top 13 will have to make pit stops here in this race, and we'll wait and see then. As we have got a pit stop then, it's we've got the front wing going off there. Have we? Was that front wing? I'm not sure. Anyway, R2 Beats in the pit lane. he is calling it a day then on the medium compound tyres. Then he is going on to a new set of medium compound tyres, and that should be good then to the end of the Grand Prix there for the Cadillac driver as well. Then Sweet Crown inherits that final points paying position for now. As yes, they have Srivatsa's caught up. No, R2Beat's got ahead. No, he hasn't. Who's where then? R2Beat, has he got ahead? He has got ahead. Srivatsa though has got. I was about to say Srivatsa has caught up then to Immortal and to Baz, and he's brought Rabbit along with him as well. Then so there's now a quartet fighting for P2 here. Then Kaz is 4 seconds up the road. Then he is looking quite comfortable at this stage. Then, but any penalties for track limits, that sort of thing, could get in the mix as well. Then Emerson under pressure from Lewis Riley. Then into the final chicane, not quite. Not quite for now. Then there's Vessia and Tori then carrying on their fight then, and Tori is coming in. Tori is calling it a day then on those medium compound tyres then, so more pit stops to come then. We do expect the pit stops to unfold then. Mark is going to inherit a couple of places here then as Kieran has gone past Vessia. There's contact there at the exit of turn 2, or in turn 2. What is going on here then? And Vessia is going to try and swoop round, and he's got the move and has Vessia then. Goodness me. Tori then is out in P14 behind Sweet MJP. He will be out in P14 and motoring along. R2Beat then is going to be P15. Now a Sweet Crown in the mix as well then for that final points paying position. Immortal then is he's starting to struggle, I think, then on those hard compound tyres. Then is Immortal potentially. Then Srivatsa and Brabit then in the mix as well then, but Srivatsa and Brabit do have penalties then to their name. Let's see. Emerson's gone for a spin there. What's happened at the hairpin then for Emerson? He's back underway now though, but he's lost out, I think, to Riley. He's lost out to Equaz as well here there. Goodness me then, and Vessia then could get themselves in the mix as well. Then Kieran's up into P10 now and chasing after them all. Mark is closing in as well here. Emerson then is going to carry on then on those hard compound tyres. Then can they get to their hard compound tyres to the end of this race? Then they've got 10 more or 11 more laps to do it. Pit stops though for Vessia and for Kieran then as they come in then off the hard compound tyres. Right. So we've got some, I think, trying to get those hard compound tyres as far as they can, and some of them opting to go for that next stop, then the second stop here. Sweet MJP will inherit. He will inherit P11 now, and Sweet Crown is retired in the pit lane then. So unfortunately, that's 15 runners left in this race. Goodness me. Well, guys, you're all guaranteed points now, so there we are. Oh, dearie me. It's the Daniela Westbrook nose cone then, indeed. Marky was still on old hard, says Serious Mushroom. Yes, he was. He's now pit 6 laps to go now for hards. For mediums, goodness me, then he's caught up to Mad Max then. So Marky then, can he get those medium compound tyres to hold on to the end of this race? Because he could find quite a lot of positions coming up his way as we head through now then into lap 26. Then the top 7, I don't think, have pitted. No, the top 7, the top 8. Then with Emerson as well then. Mad Max then, is he going to call it a day on the hard compound tyres? No, he's not then, and now Marky is closing in. Of course, these two with their collision in qualifying caused Marky then to lose 5 places off the start then with his 5-place grid penalty then, so Marky might be looking to try and get himself back into the mix with that one. Tori then and Vessia having a fight then. Kieran and R2Beat, they're all in a gaggle then as we go through into the first turn. Tori holds on and keeps hold then of that P12 position then for now. But Vessia and Kieran are being brought with him as well then, as is R2Beat now as well then, but all they need to do is make sure they get themselves to the checkered flag then, because they've got points on the table already. As heavy braking there from Immortal into the hairpin, then he's now got Srivatsa breathing down his neck then. We've got Equaz then, who's trying to get himself into the mix then for P6 then with Lewis Riley. Then Emerson is catching up to the two of them as well though as we go through the hairpin there. So it's not all done and dusted just yet then, as Emerson then with that issue at the hairpin as well earlier on, as Srivatsa's got another penalty. Oh dearie me, as we go through the final chicane then. Srivatsa has picked up that third and final warning for the track limits through there, as Vessia has passed Tori, or has he, as they go through the hairpin then and onto the back straight. Mad Max has got a 3-second penalty through that final chicane as well then. That is where they're picking up the penalties, it seems. Tori, has he held on then? He has held on there to that P12 position. Vessia's picked up another penalty going through the chicane. He's in a Red Bull sandwich here then, and oh dearie me, that's a late swoop then to try and go down the inside. There's contact there. Vessia's gone for a spin then, and ambitious move to say the least then. Vessia down to P15 then, and I think well, there wasn't much place for Tory to go there, was there? As Tory has let his teammate go through as well then. So Kieran is now up into P12 here. R2 beat P14. Then Vessia's trying to recover as Markey is all over the back of Mad Max now then. Into lap 27 we go. And how long can the medium compound tyres hold on for Markey as well then? It's going to be... oh my God. I don't know. Could this be it? Let's just say that then. Baz has picked up a penalty, and that's costly then, because that inherits the P2 position back to Immortal then, as it stands, as we go through then to lap 28. Then Markey has got past Mad Max now then into the final chicane, then through the wall of champions we go then. Markey up into P9 now, chasing after the next pack ahead. Emerson is slowly gaining then on the two ahead of him as well. And that's Equaz and that's Lewis Riley. Then we've got the top four of the top five then all in close proximity as well. But penalties are going to play a factor towards the end of this one as well. Then let's have a look. 6 seconds for Srivatsa. Then Lewis Riley's got 10 seconds from that collision with Emerson. Then if he does have to pit, then that's going to be costly indeed. Equaz has got 3 seconds. That would cost him a position at least to Emerson. Markey might be able to get himself in the frame as well with that one as we go through then for the 28th lap then. Can't keep up with it all. Immortal then, he is starting to struggle then. Are they all starting to struggle though then on their hard compound tyres as well there? Position changes then as well, he's going to pick on that one then. Brabbit potentially there as well then. Equaz. We've also got Kieran and Tory then for Red Bull then doing a good job out there. We'll wait and see then as the driver of the day poll is soon to come. And Immortal is soon to try and fight for that P2 position. No, not quite. As we head through there then as well then. And Kaz as well has got to be a candidate for driver of the day. As has Baz as well then. They've both done a good job then fighting in the podium positions for the whole race as it stands as well then. Emerson is now almost within that 1 second window. Sweet NJP's picked up a penalty then going through the final chicane. That's costly then. Tory and R2 beat then. I'm really thinking there's going to be some more pit stops at this stage in this race, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all then, because well, they're still soldiering on out there. R2B is soldiering on as well. Then he's trying to fight for that for those 2 points as well to his name. I'm not sure penalty wise then, as Mad Max has got 13 seconds. Sweet MJP's got 6 as well then, so Kieran could get himself P11 here as well then. Tory could potentially inherit P12 as well here then, and R2B may be able to get himself another point, another position or two as well. We'll wait and see. But there we go then. We'll have a look at the position changes as it stands. Mad Max and Markey are still glued together though then as we go through the hairpin. Who's further ahead though? We've got Immortal, then we've got Srivatsa and Brabbit as well. Then they're all in a fight here then for that podium place. But at the moment it stands with Immortal P2 then, and I think Baz in P3 then. Emerson has got himself back in the mix, and Emerson has been flying in and caught up then to Equaz and Lewis Riley. Then that could get him another 2 positions. That could be P6 on the cards as Markey flicking it into turn 1 then, hoping that it sticks. It just about sticks, and he's all good there as well then. Fantastic. Emerson then as well then in the mix for a good haul of points here as well then. Vessia then is going to pick up the final point as it stands then, but of course the penalties for Vessia is quite high then, but it doesn't matter because there's no drivers behind him here. 4 drivers have retired then, either on track then with issues then, or with some other mishaps then in the pit lane. But there we are then, as here comes Brabbit, and he's going down the inside then of Srivatsa. Then he's got himself down the inside of the McLaren. Then is there going to be a bit of room left then? No, but Brabbit has got himself into P4, and the question is then, did he use too much battery then to try and get himself past Srivatsa? Because here comes the McLaren trying to fight back then into the final chicane, final corner, but not quite there as well then. So Brabbit holds on to P4 as well then. Driver of the day is out then. Kaz, Baz, Brabbit and Tory then are your candidates for driver of the day then. Position changes are there then, as you can see. You can see that Kaz then is going to get the win. It looks like on track there with 31 laps completed. But Baz then, he's got himself up 2 places. He will lose out a spot though to Immortal then with the penalty situation. Then Brabbit as well has gained 8 places, but we'll have a look at positions, penalties rather. He should be able to hold on to that position actually. So that's pretty good stuff from there. Equaz then as well then. Sorry, not Equaz. We've got, who else then? Tori and Tori. Tori has gained 5 places there and could be looking to hold on then, I think, to more from that as well. And no, he's just dropped off the back of his teammate, unfortunately. Then Kieran is pushing hard to try and keep in the range then of Sweet MJP. Lewis Riley has picked up another penalty. That's unfortunate because that could promote Marky back into the mix as well here. Emerson is now caught up to the duo. We've got yellow flags. It's Mad Max then out of the chicane in sector 2. He's lost out then to Marky, unfortunately. There's Mad Max there. Mad Max has not had a very easy race, has he then? As Mortal's picked up a penalty then going through with the chicane then, and that is promoted Baz then into a P2 or net P2 position still. Because penalties then are going to be added on to the end of their race times at the final lap, that is, as we head through here then. Goodness me, it's hotting up then in the final laps here in Canada. Then Marky then is he's having a bit of a calm race now then, because he's got a 3-second gap either way then as Marky, but he is looking to try and claim some big points here tonight then, because there's penalties ahead then. There's lots of penalties ahead, and potentially that could be problematic then. I thought that sponsorship was a car off in the background, but it wasn't a sponsorship. It wasn't a car, I mean. But there we go then. Immortal then is chasing after Baz then. Can he try and get himself that position? He has to do it on track now, and then no penalties will be taken into account because they've both got the same amount. Goodness me. Right then, Kieran is caught up to Sweet MJP, and he is pushing now as Kieran. He's going to go for it then, is he? Oh, that's going to be tight through there then as we head into the second sector chicane. Not quite then. Kieran thinks better of it. Then Sweet's picked up a penalty though, and that's going to be very costly indeed for the Aston Martin driver then. Who knows what's going to happen here then as Kaz starts off lap 33. Oh my. And well, what a race this has been, hasn't it? It's crazy. Pens then for Ivan. Then there it is. Then there is the pens. So there's quite a few penalties out there then, and there might be some penalties reviewed then after this race as well. Then we'll wait and see. But goodness me, it is chaos to say the least then out there with penalties. As well, it usually is around Canada, isn't it? To be fair, then it's not a fault of the drivers, then it's a fault of the circuit. But there we are. Then Emerson now has got himself in the mix, and Kieran has. Oh goodness me! Kieran has tried to pass Sweet MJP at a very unorthodox passing place. Let's just say that then. Oh my God. You're better off trying it on the straight, mate. But there we go then, as we head through then into lap 33. Neither driver wants to ruin their race here, of course, then, because they want to make sure they at least get some points then on their tally, and then for the team as well then. But yeah, going for it in that sort of position is going to be costly, potentially then. Thankfully they escaped. But I think both Red Bulls, and I think R2 Beat might finish P14, because here comes R2 Beat. He's on a charge, passing Tori down the inside into the hairpin here. Then R2 Beat locking up the tyres there, heading through on the inside line. Then on the exit, has he got himself? He's not had a good exit though, and Tori I think might be able to try and sneak back through here. Kieran has passed Sweet MJP this time into the chicane. It's going to be close through there. Then goodness me, then they've made it through somehow. R2 Beat. Oh, R2 Beat then, and Tori. Oh my goodness me. And Tori, I think, has made contact with the back of that. That's Vessia over the P14. Vessia is just pitting now. But R2 Beat then and Tori then coming together. Then Tori's now got damage as well. Then it didn't need to be then on that final penultimate lap, I should say, because they were both going to get themselves some points at least. Then an R2 Beat is not going to be very happy with that then, I don't think, with Tori, that is. And here comes Brabbit. He's trying to get his nose in there as well then, trying to get himself on the podium. Here is Brabbit then heading through then on the penultimate lap of the race. Then Kaz then no penalties, Emerson no penalties, Marky no penalties. They're all struggling on as well then. I'm going to take it off that then for now then, because they're all struggling on. Where are we? Tyre. They're all struggling on the really old hard compound tyres. There could be punctures then towards the end of this race. Potentially that's what happened to Tori then as well. Then no, he's all good. Marky's picked up a penalty then, as I said that, so I've cursed him. Sweet MJP is back past Kieran then for P11, that is, and Equaz and Lewis Riley into turn 1 and 2. Then Equaz has got through and up into P6 here. Right then, final lap then, it's going to start hotting up then with Brabbit, with Baz, with Immortal as well. Then here we go then through into Sector 2. Immortal is really struggling on those tyres now then, and Brabbit is pushing him through the corners then. We're going to have to skip off the battling soon then to watch our race leader and our potential race winner. Then we have to get themselves to the checkered flag first. We'll wait and see then as Brabbit, is he going to try and make a move then into the hairpin? No, not quite there. Oh, he's going for it down the inside. He's made the move on the final lap there into P3. Goodness me. And onto the podium we go then for Brabbit there. Goodness me then. But here comes our race leader then from lap 1 then to the checkered flag then as Kaz comes through, passing the wall of champions for the final time. Then Kaz is going to claim victory here in Canada. Then what a race then for Kaz. What a race for Aston Martin as well then. My goodness me then, well done indeed then to Kaz then, claiming the victory here in Montreal. Baz then claims P2. Thrilling race for Baz then as well. Then he's got himself up into the podium positions once again then, has the Williams driver then. Fantastic stuff indeed from Baz to claim that P2 position as well there. Brabbit then claims the final podium place then with a final lap overtake into the hairpin in Sector 3. Then he gets himself onto the top steps there as well then, just ahead of Immortal then in P4, Srivatsa in P5, Emerson P6, Equaz P7, Marky P8, Lewis in P9, Kieran in P10, Sweet MJP in P11, then Mad Max in P12, Tori in P13, and Vessia will round off the points paying positions. Oh no, he won't. He will round off the race in P14, but of course nothing you could do then. These are too fast then, says Equaz then, but a good result indeed then for Equaz and the Haas drivers there as well then. Easy win for Kaz then, gave him driver of the day, says Mushroom there. I think driver of the day vote is still ongoing there, but there is Kaz then on the top step. He's filming us all then as he celebrates the podium. Well done indeed to everyone who managed to get themselves to the finish line tonight then as well then. Baz then for Williams in P2 and Brabbit then in P3 for Ferrari as well there. Goodness me, well that was a race. Oh my, right then, we've got the podium celebrations then underway then, champagne being sprayed all over then. That was fun, says Kieran, and at least somebody enjoyed it. Right then, we'll run through the classification in just a jiffy then. Lewis, so sorry then as well, then there seemed to be an incident there as well, it seemed then between Lewis and Emerson then. That might have been why Emerson lost the time, but he did get it back in the end there. Kaz then wins the race then with faster start with Baz and Brabbit rounding off the podium then. Immortal, Srivatsa P4 and 5, Emerson and Equaz P6 and 7, Marky and Lewis then P8 and 9, then Kieran in P10, then his best result of the season, then Sweet MJP and Mad Max P11 and 12, then Tori and Vessia P13 and 14. The final finishers here tonight in Canada then. R2 beats Sweet Crown, Pease, Ayrton and Tom Huffy, unfortunate casualties of the Montreal Grand Prix. Oh, right, and breathe. There we go then. And, well, that is that then for the... Oh, I've turned it off. There we go. I'll turn it back on. That is that there for the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll start off with some interviews then quickly there. Congratulations to Kaz in our race winner then. Unfortunately, he's not joined us there, but we can start off with P2 tonight then. Baz, yet another podium then to your tally then on your debut season. Then how was that race from your point of view?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, firstly, congrats to all the podium sitters. That was a stressful race, if I may say. I think it was all aboard the Basel train, pretty much in the second stint. Yeah, that was tough, especially on the tires. My rears were sliding so much, especially the last 5 laps, and there was points where I thought I was heading straight for a wall. But yeah, besides that, quali wasn't really great. I think there was definitely more time in the lap. But yeah, I just couldn't get it together really. And then
sorry.
No, carry on.
You go, mate. So I was going to say just quickly there on the quali performance compared to the race performance. Then were you more set up for the race then going into that, and that's probably why it compromised your quali slightly?
Potentially, but I think I just couldn't get a lap together, like a proper lap together. I think on my last lap, there was at least 2 or 3 tenths just in the final corner. Um, so I knew there was definitely time on the board. So the pace was definitely there. Maybe not to challenge Cavs, but we were matching like lap times here and there until my tires started falling off. But he had a pretty healthy gap, so yeah, there was really not much I could do after that.
And then in the final stint there, after the safety car, I believe it was, when everybody jumped in for the hard gone round tyres, did you expect to go for another stop after that, or were you just trying to get those tyres to the end from the get-go?
No, the plan was always one stop. So the safety car came out probably a lap before I was planning to pit anyway. But yeah, the plan was always to go one stop to the end.
Well, it worked out in the end, then, didn't it? So congratulations then, P2 tonight there for Baz. Then congratulations then to yourself and the Williams team as well.
Cheers, thank you.
We've got a special person now in the podium. Then we've got Brabbit. Welcome along, Brabbit. Then I must say, then it was a difficult race from your point of view. It seemed as well. Then for lots of chopping and changing going through there. Then tell us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, first of all, really confused to hear you in the commentary box and not to see you on the grid. I think this was the main reason why I was trying to find my rhythm the whole session long. So all blame on you. No, everything is fine. Yeah, really bad qualifying again. Didn't kept it together. I was well prepared, I think, for my quali, but I couldn't get it together today. So. Again, a bad starting position, and the race, the start was quite good or quite fine, but with a lot of ghosting, and I got tapped 1 or 2 times in the first half of the lap. It was really hard for me to work to the front, so I was staying in P12 or P13, and then I just was consistently driving forward. The pace was good. The safety car was in my favor. I was right at the right moment to rush to the pit. So a few seconds later, and I would have a double stick with my teammate because he was in front of me. But it was this time lucky for me. And then the second half of the race, like we were all driving on the hards. In the end, I was finally confident on the tire and on the rhythm. And then, yeah, I think 1 or 2 laps more, and I could have attacked Baz again as well. But yeah, we all have the same amount of laps for the race, so Baz was better today. And also congrats to Kes for the great win. And yeah, really happy for the result, not for the race, but the result is quite fine for the quali.
And well, what do you have to say to Immortal as well then? Because on that final lap, that final hairpin, stealing away the podium as well. Then that was a great move indeed. Then tell us about that as well.
Yeah. First of all, it was a really honor to fight the runner-up from last season. So really glad to be able to battle him. And it was quite fun. I think I was in a slight advantage with a little bit more pace and a little bit more battery. And I was, I think I was preparing my move the whole lap long. And I knew he was struggling a lot in that corner, but I didn't knew that he was missing his braking point as well. So I made the move there, but I was pretty confident to make the move anyway on this long straight. But it was really a joy because it was a really close battle. I'm not sure if something else was interesting on the race. I will watch later, but we were all together very close. I think we were 4 cars fighting for P2, and yeah. Baz was the best one from us, so congrats to Baz to get P2, and I'm happy to finish again on the podium.
Well, congratulations indeed. Then, and to answer your question, yeah, there was stuff. There was stuff to watch in this race. Let's just put it that way. So, yeah,
nice.
When you watch it back, you'll enjoy. But no, congratulations then, Brabbit, as well. Then rounding off the podium here in Canada. Then that's going to be it for gold tonight. Then, but unfortunately, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I'm back tomorrow for silver. So I'll see you there as well then. So stay tuned then. Play more action coming up then, and we'll see you very soon.